economically asleep, when they are asleep in darkness, when they are asleep in stupidity, when they are asleep in ignorance, when they are asleep in helplessness and hopelessness and despair, when they are asleep to the point that they are living but they are unconscious of who they are, what is expected of them, and what latent investment the divine has invested in them. So the beloved Prophet was told, قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ. And Muslims feel وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ means to say Allahu Akbar. It doesn't mean that. It means in your life, prioritize the status of the divine in your life. Let Allah, the divine, the sovereign, and His laws and His values and the pursuit to His loftiness reign supreme. That's what it means. It's not about words. It's not somebody who can say Allahu Akbar. And how many times you say Allahu Akbar, or how many times I don't say it. It's not about that. It is whose life demonstrate that to them and their family and the world in which we are living, divine loftiness must take precedence over everything else. And that must be the pursuit. It's not about echoing words. Then the next command to the Prophet, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ. And our people generally understood this to mean, oh, the Prophet was told to clean his clothes. You understand? And you see Muslims, they're obsessed with what? What do you think they're obsessed with? That they themselves don't have time to think. They're crazy over physical washing. They're crazy over physical washing. No matter where they go, they got to make sure they wash. But they don't participate in any program like how they participate to wash physically, to wash mentally. You can jump in a river, and unless you and I make an effort to wash what's inside here, and what is inside here, we're just wasting time with all these external washing that depletes the water in an environment, that incurs expenses. And you know what? Many places where I've given the khutbahs, especially not in traditional masjids, as a figure of speech, God help the washroom and God help the bathroom when Muslims go inside. Because generally, that's their upbringing. Their hygiene is very poor. Their sense of understanding, loftiness is very, very poor. So they got to wash away. As they feel, the more they wash, the more they're putting themselves to deal with God. Washing has to do with hygiene. Washing has to do with hygiene. But there's a kind of washing which we don't realize. Because we were brainwashed to wash physically. Water in the Qur'an is synonymous with guidance. Water in the Qur'an is synonymous with the source of light, of life. If you and I wash physically, which can be a nice thing, it's nice to take a bath, it's nice to refresh, especially when we are overwhelmed with dust or perspiration or whatnot. Or what about washing our darkness? How do we wash that? What kind of pipe do you use? Where do you go to wash that? Who's bothered about washing that? That's what this Qur'an is all about. Washing away the darkness. And that's why I told the beloved Prophet, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ. Purify your immediate environment. The immediate environment of somebody, I'm not denying where you stay, the clothing you put on, But the most immediate environment of any one of us is what comes in this mind and what goes out of this mind. Is what this heart and these emotions assimilate and what they resonate with. That is what is significant. وَالرُّجْزَ فَهْجُرْ. And all forms of impurities, just turn away from it. Brothers and sisters, what positive things can we do to make our life count? There is a concept in the Qur'an, and these days we are living in a time where there's a world event taking place in London, England. It's called the Olympics. It can be something very enhancing if we can learn the lessons, some of the main lessons that are taught as people are put on display. If you and I hear the stories of these people, what they did to get there, and then beyond there to get on the podium, then we will understand in that can be inspiration for me and you. But if we look at the Olympics, as many people look at nature, and don't learn anything much from it, it will be another time-wasting episode of our life. The Olympic is all about competition. It's not about sitting back and relaxing and doing nothing, yet wanting to be counted. You hear that? Let me repeat that to myself. The Olympics is all about competition. It's about hard work. It's about demonstrating sacrifice, commitment, practice, striving for loftiness, for higher heights. It's not about taking a laid-back position and yet wanting to be counted. Anytime we take a laid-back position in whatever roles we perform in our lives, we are actually conceding defeat. And we are setting a terrible example of ourselves to our immediate associates, our family, and the society at large. This concept of competing is in the Qur'an. This concept of competing is in the Qur'an. This concept of striving is in the Qur'an. Look at the words. Competing, striving, giving your best, not preparing to fail, wanting to advance, wanting to supersede, wanting to excel. This concept is called sibaq or musabaqa in the Qur'an. And that's the need of the hour from you and me. If you love yourself, and if I love myself, and we love ourselves, and we love our families, and we love the society which we are part of, and we love the groups that we are part of, and the organizations, and the institutions, then what should we do? Should we just take a back seat and let everybody run away ahead? And then criticize them? Oh, they won the race. They're lucky that I didn't join the race. Who stopped you and who stopped me? We have lots of excuses when people take responsibility and compete for excellence, when we fail to do it. Because those who learn to criticize, they will criticize under any circumstances. So the Qur'an tells you and me to do what? Stop being a negative